When Isabella adopted Max from the shelter, she thought the German Shepherd's peculiar behavior was just trauma from his previous home. He would sit for hours, staring at empty corners, his ears twitching at sounds she couldn't hear. At night, his nails would click-clack down the hallway, patrolling an invisible perimeter. The first sign that something was truly wrong came when Max started growling at his own reflection. Not just any reflection, only the one in Isabella's antique mirror, a family heirloom that hung in the living room. In other mirrors, he acted normally, but before that particular mirror, he would bare his teeth, and hackles would rise along his spine. One night, Isabella woke to Max's violent barking. Following the sound to the living room, she found him facing the mirror. But what made her blood run cold was his reflection. It was a beat too slow, movements slightly out of sync. As she watched, horrified, Max's reflection turned to look directly at her, while the real Max continued barking at the mirror. The next day, she noticed Max had started following something with his eyes, something that wasn't there. His head would track across the room, and occasionally he would wag his tail as if greeting an old friend. Isabella began to notice cold spots in the house, always where Max's attention seemed to focus. Things escalated when she found Max's paw prints in the dust on her dresser one morning. Impossible, given that he'd been locked in the kitchen all night. The prints led to the mirror, where they simply stopped. That same evening, she heard two distinct sets of dog nails clicking on the hardwood floor, but only Max was visible. Isabella finally understood when she developed the photos she'd taken of Max for his adoption anniversary. In every single picture, there were two of him. One solid, one translucent. The ghostly double had eyes that glowed an unnatural blue, and around its neck was a collar she recognized from her childhood, the one that had belonged to her family's dog, who had died protecting them from a home invasion 30 years ago. Now, she knows why Max was drawn to that particular mirror, why he patrols so diligently at night. He wasn't haunted, he was chosen. The spirit of her childhood guardian had found a new vessel to continue its eternal watch, and Max had willingly accepted his role as the Shadow's companion. Some nights, when the house is quiet except for the double click-clack of paws on hardwood, Isabella feels safer than she ever has before, guarded by both the living and the dead.